In today's video, I'm going to cover how to create a felt material all procedurally inside of Blender. I had a little bit of experimenting with this and I've come up with something that I'm quite happy with here. This felt material probably doesn't handle really close up, but at a distance, to a decent distance, it will look like felt material. And I'll also explain why we need the sheen inside of this, and a little bit of how I created this render so you can do some of the same things. Let's jump in. We both know that the biggest struggle in 3D is getting your renders to look photorealistic. But what if I told you that there is 3 elements that you can follow to instantly level up your renders and to improve your renders a lot faster than you're currently progressing? If you're interested in learning these 3 elements, then I have a completely free workshop which you can watch. It's 45 minutes. It's going to teach you a ton of value about 3D product rendering and how to get photorealistic renders inside of Blender. All you got to do is put your email in the top link in the description and sign up today. See you over there. Let's get back into the tutorial. So what we're going to do first is I'm just going to select part of my model here. And I'm just going to get rid of the felt so we can build it from scratch. And so you can see these are all in different sections. These two are actually 2 different materials because this is a sort of a stamp that's been put on as a part of the brand. Let's select this and we just need to create a new material here and call it felt. Now in this case, I didn't use the principled BSDF. I instead used just a diffuse, which the diffuse is just, if we plug this in, it's just basically the default principled, and it's just a rough surface, and we've got a color here that we can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to need to actually use a noise texture to actually create the diffuse or the felt material. So we'll plug that into the color here. And then we can start to play with some of the settings here. So I had this on 4D and I think I had it on rigid. Rigid here. We've just got a screenshot beside me if I keep looking over there. And I put in settings of 3000. So you can see straight away what's happened to this. So if this is just like 5, it looks like this. And then as soon as I bump it up to 3000, we get this effect, which is pretty close to what I've got over here, but not quite yet. So then what I did is I just increased the detail between 10 and 20 I found worked for me. And so if we just decrease this and we just show you what detail it does. So by default, there's not a lot going on really in the detail. I'm not sure, it probably doesn't matter too much. And then I adjusted some of the roughness here. So if we just adjust this roughness and then this one, again, I'm going to just decrease this so you can see what's going on. So there's not a lot going on there. The roughness, if I scale this up, you can see it a little bit differently. And again, that's not really doing much. The offset is the only other one that I tried to adjust. 0.9 I had. And so then we had this effect here. Let's go up to 3000 again. And that's pretty good. So now what I'm going to do is put this into a object coordinate. Let's put it straight into texture. Shift A, and we're just going to use the object here, which is Blender's prediction of this. Then I can go Shift A, we can add in a color ramp, and this is where, color ramp, this is where we can get some of the effects. So what I did here was just added in sections of colors at different variances, and then we add in another one, and we pull this one over here and make this even lighter. So we've got something like this here. pull this away from black. This one, so it's not so harsh. Like so. I'm going to clamp this guy. And you can add color to this if you would like. Let's add a hue saturation value. And you can adjust this, which is not going to do anything because this is all grayscale. So what I did was I just picked some colors, so we can send it into the blue. So we can drag this over here. We'll use the hue here, 0.64 on all of our stops. 0.64. And you're just going to lift the saturation up. 0.64. And again, 0.64. Lift the saturation. So basically you're just going from darkest down to lightest here. And so I just sort of pulled this over here, pulled this over. We can go a bit lighter in saturation and darkness on this one. And then what I did here was just reduce the saturation. So you can go down to 0.1 and you can reduce the value over here. And you can actually change the color if the saturation is up to 1. You can actually use the hue slider here to adjust the color around. So we're sort of getting there. You can pump this up to 4000 if you want the detail to be smaller. Something like that. So then what I did was I just duplicated this one and I changed it back to a regular FBM noise, which just looks like this. You can't see anything yet. Let's plug the object in here. And this is all it looks like. We're at a scale of 4000 here, so I reduced this down to 1000 and reduced my detail down to 10. Really not doing too much with that. And I had this at 0.6, but it's really, again, not doing too much. And then what I did here was mixed the two. So I mixed this one and this one together. So you can just do this if you Control Shift click and then right click and drag these two. You can mix it. And so this is a Node Wrangler feature. I'm just going to plug that back in there. This is Node Wrangler, which is an add-on. You can just, which you can just add on. It's in Blender by default, so turn it on in the add-ons. And then you're just going to mix these two. And what that does is takes this one and this one together and mixes them two together to get an effect like this. And so then I can plug this into the bump. And I wanted this into the height here. And now we're getting a height map. And we're just adjusting some of these settings. So 0.5 and 0.25 is the settings that I had. Changing the filter width will actually smooth it. So if you go 10, you're going to smooth this out. So I left this at the default 0.1. And if we Control Shift click up here, I'm going to desaturate the color because I want a gray. Let's go 0.2 maybe. And then go 0.1 on this so it's darker. 0.1. Then plug this into the bump here. And this gives us a little bit of a rough surface on the top here. So this is where I'm saying that very close up, this isn't a texture that you're going to use, but it's going to look fine at a distance here. So then what I wanted to do next was create a little bit of a sheen. Before I do that, what I'm going to do is show you why I'm putting a sheen texture. All right, so we've got our current render here. We're just going to focus on this material on the end here. And as you can see, there's little white specks in this. If you want to get those white specks back, you're just going to adjust this first slot here. So you might make it a bit lighter, remove the saturation out of it. You can give it a little bit of more space to bring a little bit more white back in and that sort of thing. All right, what we're going to do next is go Shift A, and we're going to search for sheen, BSDF, and sheen is just like this reflective surface that happens on top of fabrics. So if you notice, fabrics have this sort of shiny surface off the top of them. So what we'll do with the sheen is we'll go Control Shift and right click and drag these two together. That will create us a mix shader here. And then I'm going to just drop the factor here to 0.25, so the sheen isn't as strong. It's going to lean more on the first shading slot here. And I'm going to use the normal here and leave all the settings default here. So that's what we've got here. I'm going to switch to slot 1 and give this a render. And this is the render now. And so what I want to look at is the difference between the two, and where we're looking is sort of the edges where the sheen is visible. And so this is with sheen, this first one, we're looking specifically here on this edge here, and I'm going to switch to slot 2, and you can see all that's just disappeared on our model here. And so the sheen is just a super helpful way to add in a little bit more realism and shininess to the surface. So what I'm going to do with all this is just grab it all, and I'll just go Control G and tab out, and then I can rename this node group to felt material. Now you could pull some of these out, so you could pull the colors out of this material here, and so you can adjust some of the color from the outside. And what I'm going to do is just go Control C. I'm going to put it on this material here, so I've got felt 2, I believe, and I'm going to select this one. Now this one has a texture plugged into it, so I'm just going to delete everything before that. I've got other videos on how you would go about actually adding textures. And then I'll just paste the felt in and plug that in there, and now I've got the same material on them all, and if I tab into here I can edit it like so. Alright, the next thing I just want to focus on is lighting. So very simple setup. These materials and resources are actually from Blender Kit, I believe. It's like $10 a month, I think, and it has all these models and stuff to just fill out a scene really quickly. And all I've done is added in one big light, and the light is back here. So this is the light. It's direct light, so you can see the spread is really small, which makes it more direct, gives this harsher edge. It's at 4 degrees, power's fairly low. And then all I'm doing here is masking it with a big shape here, which is just a plane that's been extruded and stretched in different ways to block out and create this sort of shape here. Now, one thing to note also is I do have a little bit of a world lighting going on, which is just a studio light. So if I plug this in here, it's just a HDRI studio light, and that gives us this overall look in here. So I can go 1.8, and you can adjust this so the less world lighting you're going to have, the darker these edges will be, and the lighter. So then all I've got then is some compositing. So I've got a glare node. The glare is just adding this slight haze across it. It's really probably, in my opinion, too much because I want the render to look quite sharp. Then I've got an RGB curves, which is pretty common for my renders here. Just boosts contrast in this. You can change the factor, and I've got a simple S curve, which an S curve just gives, it pulls the darks down and pushes the highlights up a little bit. Then I've just got a vignette, which the vignette comes from down here. You just click and drag it on. It's Blender 5.0, and that is on very lightly, and that gives us this render here. So hopefully you found this one useful, It's a lot shorter of a render, but it's just a super useful and easy effect to create if you're looking for felt. If you're looking for super realistic close-up felt, then this probably won't do it for you. But at a distance, this one definitely holds up. That's it for this video, and I'll see you in the next one.